That is what an 80 is. So in October, we have reflected upon our own choices and we found balance. But again, don't trick yourself into thinking balance is always just the simplistic form of, oh, everything's working out nominally or in a perfect fashion. It's working out the way you allow it. That scares a lot of people. Things at present are working out as how we allow it. So Libra has shown us to where what you allow will become the cores that you stay balanced in. So from there, we're tomorrow, 1023, we're going to enter into Scorpio. Scorpio represents death. For years, I've said Scorpio is a fire sign. Not just in dealing with Scorpio energy, especially like what people always talk about. Scorpios are highly sexual and highly aggressive and abrasive and assertive. All Aries and fire sign type energies, Aries and Leo and Sagittarius, to be honest. Scorpio exhibits all of those traits. So, not trying to argue with anybody about it, but I've always classified Scorpio as a damn fire sign, hot headed. But what is death? Death is an urgent energy of change. Death is the ushering in of life, just as death is the ending of life that has already been ushered in. Think about the duality of what I just said. And I've been saying this a lot lately is the minute that you create, you also destroy. The minute you create, you authorize change in that creation, which essentially is destruction. This Scorpio season in 2025, starting on 1023, the choice of my energy, the choice of my passion is the way that breaks down. What I choose as my passion, 23 is passion for me, it's the element of fire. What I choose to give my energy will be what controls me. This is 2025, the year of control. This is also the year of the snake. The snake is the grand deceiver based off of knowledge. Sometimes that what you know is not what you should have known or not what you know at all. You have to eat that one, realistically. All right, you damn squirrels. Get that nest up there. All right, so again, 1023, 2025 is going to begin Scorpio season, and it's going to show us where we keep making choices that have us invested in control by emotionally controlling our energy. Ego. That can go as simple as what's going on in this country, say in a sense to where people can see what's really happening, but and again, I say this all the time too, and people do too. If what's happening now isn't affecting you, then it don't make you no difference. That is why you still have people, riding the government bandwagon of Trump is the best thing, the Republicans is this, the Democrats is that, because you've been lowered down into that level of energetic thinking to where you don't see the bigger picture. And to be fair, you don't see the bigger picture because it ain't worth seeing. I mean, I got to be realistic. If you remember, Libra was about balance. If everything in your life is working phenomenally, my kids are happy, my bank account's happy, my family is happy, what the fuck am I worried about what's going on with everybody else for? We get taught that as the end game. Take care of your own and leave everybody else to their own devices. So for people who are not affected by what's going on, you can't blame them. Not in the short sense. You can't blame them for not being affected by a system that benefits them. So we're going to have to start figuring out just what balance really is, and in the sense of what I was just saying about people not being affected by it. Why would you want to change? Remember, I told you death is change. Why would I want to change something that benefits me? Being honest, why would I want to change something that keeps change in my pocket? And it's not always about money. This is, again, energy, the 23, the currency, your passion. If this system is only showing me a better way to be more passionate about my existence, it's showing me the ups and not the downs, why would I want to move? Fair question. So realistically, we can't start wanting to hold the collective responsible, so to speak, if the individual hasn't learned to see past the trick. Because again, that becomes a nasty thing is, if personally speaking, if I knew I was fine, but everybody else was in danger, personally speaking, I wouldn't be fine. And that has nothing to do with, oh, well, you just ain't never had that. This ain't got nothing to do with how much you had versus how much you didn't have. My sense of personal morality, my moral compass within myself, my dirty word I'm going to use, empathy towards the human experience would tell me that if I saw everybody else in danger, I'm not going to be fine. And I can verify that within myself. And again, this is where let your life tell your tale comes in. If you cannot on the daily see where things still emotionally pull on you, and I don't mean drive you crazy and angry and all this other shit, I mean where you can see where there's still a point of compassion within yourself for others, stay your course. If you can see where you still have compassion when necessary and required, kudos. So let's just, without using cards, because again, cards are tools, and I love them because they kind of verify where my thoughts are already going. But I'm just going to, shoot from the hip and speak this directly. Um, I'm going to speak on each sign, since again, I'm telling you the signs are a story of us in separation. Please see through what I'm saying and start focusing on your wholeness. So the first thing you have to understand is that leaving Libra, coming into Scorpio, Scorpio only wants to put things to rest. Scorpio may be the death goddess, but sometimes, death god or goddess, but sometimes, as I said earlier, life is death. It's not always about destroying something. It might be creating something to get rid of what's already been destroying everything else, if that makes sense. So Scorpio needs to face itself. So Scorpio, again, like I said, the point of change, if you are highly ascribed to that Scorpio energy, whether it's your birth energy or if it's just something you've always been drawn to, you need to look at you. Again, you'll hear me say this all the time. Most Scorpio energies have a bit of paranoia about them because they, on some levels, feel like things can either put them in danger or there may be on some level a danger within yourself. You have to face you and figure out what this danger really is. Where is the source of this paranoia? How much of your energy have you given into things? How much are you scared to put forth into things because you feel like if you overextend yourself, you're not going to be too connected to what you gave your energy, which is fair. The thing I will have to say about that is if you're worrying about connecting to others because they might take from you, don't give so much to place yourself in danger. And furthermore, start choosing who you give your energy. And that's going to hurt some of you when you start having to face family, friends, lovers, business associates, community, all of the above. When you have to start looking at each individual person and using that dirty word, discernment and judgment, when you have to start using your discernment and judgment to figure out whether someone is worth your time, the whole answer lies with you. And there's a duality to that. The whole answer lies with you, as in it rests with you, and the whole answer lies, as in telling a fib in whatever you choose. And the fucked up part about that, just being honest, is sometimes you won't know you're lying until you make the choice. Sometimes you will make the assessment that this is what I want to do, that thing we call experience. And once you get into the experience, you'll realize, holy shit, I should have never done it. You can't get fucked up about that, Scorpio. You can't get fucked up about reaching out your energy into an experience and then realizing it didn't show you the proper result. Stop trying to find